Unfunded mandated liabilities. Oh, yeah, coming down the pipeline. Let's go back, paraphrase, look at what we said, look at what's going to happen. Let's start stitching together possibilities. Economically, we are on a whirlwind of economic downturn, purposely set up by governments and banks, purposely set up by you, the people, borrowing and over leveraging and thinking that interest rates will never go up, or thinking that housing will go up forever. A lot of people are on the hook for this. But there is a sect of people that shouldn't be on the hook for this. And what am I talking about? Military and old age pensioners. They shouldn't be on the hook for this. I'll tell you why. Well, let's go back to a unfunded mandated liabilities. They will cut you off first. And back in, I think it's 2018, we made a video, and I was discussing in the video who they would cut off first when they start canceling liabilities, right? And we came up with military will be first. So military pensioners would be the first ones to get cut off, okay? Whether you're living in Canada, United States, Australia, the patterns are the same across the Commonwealth. So what you'll see is military will be first. And that's what we said in the video. And then we said old age pensioners will be second. And then after and final would be EBT, Section 8, UB40, welfare, whatever you want to call it, will be last on the list to be cut off. Because if you cut off the EBT and Section 8 first, what will happen is you'll have more civil unrest and there'll be like cities will burn, right? So they're going to do it in a way where they're going to get the people that deserve it most to cut them off first and then work their way down the ladder. And that was from the video, they will cut you off first, unfunded mandated liabilities. And I took some notes here. Pension obligations, welfare programs, and other benefits that lack dedicated funding sources can pose significant challenges to countries like the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. And the financial strain, okay? Unfunded liabilities represent promises made by the government. Promises. So they don't even have the money to fund it forward, to provide certain benefits without having a side equity of funds to cover the commodities. And we cover this multiple times. This can lead to financial strain on government budgets as the need to fulfill these obligations grows over time. Now, I have an article here I printed off for you guys. Got my printer working. And federal unfunded liabilities are growing more rapidly than public debt. We made this video. And this was we made this video back, I think, in December 2022. Most of the nation's political leaders show little concern over awareness that the federal government's net financial position has eroded rapidly in this century. They know about mounting public debt because regular budget reports highlight it, as do media outlets. Okay. Then it goes on to say, more attention in Congress on the Department of Treasury's annual financial statement would help. This report, produced by the Assistance of Government, I don't have to get into that, and I'm just going to get into the numbers right now. In 2021, the Treasury estimated the government's unfunded liabilities present value terms at $6.5 trillion, or 61% of GDP. $6.5 trillion, or 61% of GDP. The federal debt accounting for $3.3 trillion of the measured obligations by 2011, the estimated net unfunded liabilities of federal government had grown $4.8 trillion, or 95% of GDP, which represented a deterioration of $8.3 trillion over a decade. Over the same period, federal debt rose by $6.9 trillion, and non-debt unfunded liabilities by $1.4 trillion. And then, yeah, this is major. So who are they going to cut off first? This is the civil unrest, or what's going to be happening in 2024 that I've been kind of projecting with the projection models. Like there's going to be no back in 2020, 2021, we're already telling you there was going to be no election in the United States because it's just too dangerous, right? They're going to make it and they're going to set it up, and we told you there was going to be no Democratic primaries. We told you there's going to be a snap election in Canada. We told you about Brazil. We told you about everything, what was happening, how it was going down. And it's very important that now we stitch together what we've been saying and figuring out a way for solutions of sorts, right? So budgetary pressure. As population ages, pension and healthcare costs to increase. This puts additional pressure on government budgets, potentially leading to budget deficits and limiting resources available for other essential public services such as education, infrastructure, and defense. So now Canada's trying to fix this problem by bringing in unskilled labor, I would say just immigrants coming in, just bringing in people, right? I'm a Portuguese. We were considered unskilled laborers as Portuguese when we came to Canada. We're unskilled laborers. We are considered like the bottom of the pile in Canada, right? So now the people that are coming in are not even going to work on the infrastructure, so to say. So we worked on the infrastructure. We built the Italians, the Portuguese, the Greeks. They built Oakville, Ontario, Oshawa, Ontario, right? Toronto, then Hamilton, Ontario. Then you have the... in New York, you have the Irish, the Italians that built New York, right? They would bring them in, build the infrastructure, and then throw them out when they don't need them, or fizzle them out, or divide them, right? So Canada, they're bringing immigrants, and open southern border in the United States is a clear example of this. Debt accumulation. Governments may resort to borrowing to meet immediate funding needs for unfunded liabilities, and we talked about paying a debt with a debt. And tax increases to cover unfunded liabilities. Governments may resort to raising taxes. Increased taxation can negatively impact economic growth and discourage investment. And tax you to death series we've been doing since 2012 on the channel. They're going to tax you to death. As cities go broke, as municipalities go broke, counties go broke, they're just going to tax the crap out of you. And that's something we've been warning about, again, for over a decade now. Competitive disadvantage. High levels of unfunded liabilities can make a country less attractive. We talked about those Frankenstein debt levels, unusual Frankenstein debt levels. And, of course, they had to lower rates and issue useless bonds. And that's a video we made there, too. Unfunded liabilities often result intergenerational inequity, where future generations are burdened with the financial consequences. And we made a video back in 2015. Kids, now grandkids, are in debt for life. That was back in 2015. And credit rating downgrades, countries' credit worthiness, again, it becomes a problem on more of a geopolitical, grand world scale. And political and social stability. The inability to address unfunded liabilities can lead to political and social instability, as citizens may become frustrated with reduced public services, higher taxes, or economic uncertainty. We were covering this back in 2015 with austerity measures in France. Before the Gilets Jaunes kicked off, before the Yellow Vest movement kicked off, we were covering this years before that, talking about austerity measures in France, and I think it was England, and I think it was Germany, where they were cutting people's pensions so governments could fund other garbage that made no sense to in the first place. And it was from a video we did, Won't Pay? Okay, so basically, this can have long-term consequences for governments and social cohesion. Now, I made a video about this referencing that, saying, won't pay? Come get it. USA will default on its debt on purpose. And that was a video I made in 2018. That USA will default on its debt. They have one of the biggest standing army. I don't know what's happening military-wise, but it's not looking good. But if the America decides not to want to pay its debt or its liabilities to the world, what are they going to say? Come get it. Come on. Come and get your money. We're right here. Right? So this is a major thing that's happening, and I think that it's very damaging, especially the federal unfunded liabilities, and then they drop down to a municipal level, and then it drops down to a city level, and as cities go broke, counties go broke, states go broke, provinces go broke, they're going to be coming after military first and cut their pensions, and then old age, the people that built the country, and then they'll go after the welfare later, and EBT or whatever, Section 8, whatever you want to call it. And Basically, they're going to push the reset button because this is getting way out of control. And America is just going to flex its muscles or saber rattle and say, come get it. Come get your money. I dare you. And then that's exactly... And then it's the video from 2018 here. Come get it. Yeah, won't pay, come get it. USA will default its debt on purpose. So, I just wanted to put this out there because I feel it's important. I feel that people need to understand this. And I think unfunded liabilities would be one of the causes to our predictive model, where I'm talking about 2024 and what's happening. And there's going to be a series of events happening through 2024. And it's not just no election. It's not just something I feel is going to happen to Trump. It's not just, it's a lot of things happening at the same time, right? And this is one of them, unfunded federal liabilities. And the video I did yesterday, where we're going to see physical currency shortages. We'll see physical currency shortages done on purpose. And they're going to blame it on us as hoarders, as hoarding the money, and making us seem like the criminals. And that's where it stands, folks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Really look forward to, if you want to help the predictive model, leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think is going to be unfolding. You're welcome to look up any video you want on our channel. We've got over 5,000 plus videos that are up there that are basically trying to make sense of this all in a more of a predictive sense of things. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Mike Martins here. I've spoken.